There's a silent threat out there that can bring a multi-billion-dollar company to its knees in an instant. And the wild part? It's 100% preventable. But it still manages to catch even the biggest names in tech completely by surprise. We're talking about something called certificate lifecycle management. And today, we're going to break down why it is so important. To really get what's at stake here, let's jump in a time machine back to September 28th, 2020. It seemed like just another Monday, until, bam, Microsoft Teams went down. And I don't mean it was just a little slow for a few people. We're talking a global outage. And here's the craziest part of the whole story. This massive worldwide shutdown, it wasn't some sophisticated hack. It was just a simple administrative mistake. A single digital certificate, something someone forgot to renew, expired. And the whole thing just collapsed. So for 4 hours, it was pure chaos. Meetings got canceled, deadlines were completely blown, and businesses that run on Teams were just stuck. All of it because of one tiny, forgotten detail. And that one failure is the perfect example of why we're talking about this today. Okay, so what in the world is this tiny digital key that has so much power? Well, to get that, we need to talk about the core technology, the SSL/TLS certificate. Honestly, the easiest way to think about it is like a digital passport. You know that little padlock you see up in your browser's address bar? That's a certificate at work. It does two really crucial things. First, it proves the website you're on is legit, and second, it encrypts the connection so your information stays safe. And you can see the difference clear as day right here. On the left, that's the world without SSL. Your passwords, your credit card info, all of it is just out there, totally exposed. But on the right, with SSL, you get that proof of identity and a secure encrypted tunnel for your data. It's why every secure website, API, or app you use absolutely has to have one. Now, look, if you only had one or two of these digital passports to worry about, it'd be easy. But for modern companies, this is where the real problem starts. We're talking about a challenge of just monumental scale. I mean, the growth here has been nothing short of explosive. Just 10 years ago, a big company might have had to manage, say, a few hundred certificates. Today, that number can skyrocket to over 250,000, and they're spread out everywhere: websites, cloud servers, mobile apps, even IoT devices. And just to make it even trickier, the whole industry has moved towards shorter certificate lifespans for better security. So look at this chart. If you had 100 certificates that lasted a year, that's 100 renewals. Simple enough. But now, with a lot of certificates only lasting 90 days, that same batch requires 400 renewals. That's 4 times the work and 4 times the chance for a mistake. So, how on earth do you manage all this potential chaos? Well, you need a strategy. You need a playbook. And this is exactly where Certificate Lifecycle Management, or CLM, comes into the picture. It's a structured process designed to keep everything from falling apart. Let's just walk through the 6 stages real quick. It all kicks off with discovery. That's just finding every single certificate you have. Then you've got issuance and deployment, getting new ones and installing them. After that is the big one, renewal, making sure you refresh them before they expire. Then for ongoing security, you have rotation, which is basically swapping out old encryption keys for fresh ones. And finally, revocation, which is your emergency button to instantly kill any certificate that's been compromised. Every single one of these steps is absolutely critical. Okay, so when it comes to tackling this whole life cycle, you've really got 2 ways to go about it: the old way and the new way. We're talking about human effort versus machine precision. On one hand, you've got the manual approach. This is all about spreadsheets and calendar alerts. And as you can see, it can eat up to 80 hours a month. That's someone's full-time job, and it's super vulnerable to human error. But on the other hand, you have the automated approach. This uses a central platform to watch and renew everything automatically. The difference? A 70 to 90% drop in time spent. And, more importantly, it stops those expensive outages before they happen. And if you think this is just some rare theoretical problem, think again. We already talked about the Microsoft Teams fiasco, but LinkedIn, Spotify, and even US government websites have all been bitten by this exact same issue. One missed alert, one simple human mistake can set off a massive domino effect. So the bottom line is pretty clear. The only real way to deal with this problem at scale is through automation. It's about shifting from constantly putting out fires to making sure they never start in the first place. Let's see what that modern solution actually looks like. Modern platforms are like a single command center for all of this. Remember that huge problem of scale?
Well, they solve it by automatically discovering certificates across your entire network, whether it's on-premise or in the cloud. They give you real-time health monitoring to spot problems early, and the real game changer is zero-touch automated renewals, which takes human error right out of the equation. It's all about getting back complete visibility and control.
So the next time you see that little padlock icon, remember what's really humming along behind the scenes. It's not just one certificate, it's this huge, complex system. And behind every single company that stays online without a hitch, there's a smart, automated approach to managing that very system. And all of this really brings us to one last critical question, the one you should be asking yourself and your teams. When you think about how complex this all is and how high the stakes are, is your organization really prepared for this challenge? Or are you just one missed email away from becoming the next headline?